Hey everybody, welcome to day 2 of my new me journey. I'm still not comfortable really talking on YouTube like this, but they say they need to face your fears, and public speaking has always been one of my fears, so here we go. Anyway, so today I was going to head to the grocery store and pick out my foods for my new meal plan. And so as I went through all the information last night on the website, that's Scott Herman's website, I found that there was a lot more information there that I hadn't looked at. So I spent a great deal of time last night looking at that, and because of that, I decided not to head to the grocery store just yet. It doesn't mean that I haven't started changing things, because I have. One of the great things that the website does offer you is it helps you set your calories for the day. It helps you set your macros for the day. And not only that, they also look at optimal levels of things like cholesterol and omega-3s and all kinds of stuff like that. And they even grade them from like an A to an F. So if, for instance, if you're getting too much sodium, you could go from an A to an F and say, hey, you're way over your sodium amount for the day, which I was when I first set up my 1-day meal plan. And so I had to look at and it'll tell you what foods have the most amount of sodium. And so I was able to kind of switch things up and reduce my sodium. So now I'm a B. So A being the best, optimum, and F, of course, being the lowest, if I didn't already describe that. So I already had the foods for what I was going to do. And once I figure out how YouTube works more so than I do now, then I'll start posting what my meals are, and how I'm setting up my meal plans for the day. But essentially it's been pretty simple. So this morning I had a cup of raw oatmeal with some 2% low fat lactase milk, or lactose free milk, and a banana. And so I got my carbs, I got my I think it was about, the calorie wise, it was about 200 and some odd calories, I think, this morning. So, and I'm not exactly sure what the macro counts were. Again, I don't have it right in front of me. But then I set up my 3 snacks for the day, and they were pretty simple things. Like one was actually a protein shake. I've had those in the past, and I don't mind them. I have a recipe that I use. It's pretty simple, actually. It's a scoop of protein powder, and I'm typically using an isolate protein powder, milk concentrate isolate. The reason being is that the isolate is easy digested. It's really good for digesting, easily digested. So it's really good for pre and post workouts. And whereas the milk concentrate is a slower digesting, and so I usually have a protein shake at bedtime, because I want that protein to be in my system for 5-6 hours as I'm sleeping, so it's slowly digesting through my system. Now you're probably saying, what is he talking about? Slowly digesting, quickly digesting proteins? Like, what are you talking about? What's the advantage of all this stuff? And so part of this journey, as I become more knowledgeable, will to be provide some information on that stuff, so then you know why that is important. Why, for instance, when you're a big guy like me, that eating a lot of starchy carbs may not be the best thing for you, and why fibrous carbs like vegetables, greens, spinach, broccoli, things like that, are better for you when you're trying to lose weight and cut the fat, that type of thing. And I'm not saying that carbs are bad. I think carbs get a bad rap, based upon what I've read and what I've researched. It just means that there are different types of carbs. Anyway, so again, I didn't go shopping today, and so my hope is later in the week I will do so. Once I have a concrete weekly plan in place. Right now, I'm just setting up one day at a time, making sure I'm hitting my calorie intake and making sure I'm hitting my macros. And you're probably saying, well, how does it set up, your calories and your intake and all this stuff? So at the beginning, you've probably seen them online. There's like those setting up it's like a calculator that helps you set up all that stuff. And essentially on his website, he has something similar to that. So, and I won't get into too much detail, but essentially you put in your height, your weight, your age, your body fat percentage, which I don't mind saying, mine's over 40%, which is considered obese, and a few other things. And so you plug that all into the system, and then it comes out and says, for you to be cutting the fat, because that's what I want to cut fat, get lean, while maintaining what muscle I do have. It's in there somewhere. I know I have it. It's underneath everything, but it's there somewhere. And so I was between 1,800 and I think 2,135 calories per day. And then, so from that, I started entering in all my meals, and of course, it has all the foods that are in the system. It actually has all kinds of recipes and has, serving sizes and all that stuff. But essentially what I did is I just went find foods. Excuse me, got a bit of a cold. And looked up the foods that I wanted, like oatmeal, like milk, bananas. And then it would tell me the quantities of everything that would have in terms of carbs, fats, proteins, and other things like cholesterol and sodium and stuff like that. And so once I filled in everything, again, I gave it a score of where they are, and you look, and then you click on the letter, where if it was an A, it would say you're getting between this and this protein a day, you're in the optimum level, perfect. Or you're getting this much cholesterol a day, it's a D, you need to reduce that, you get it to a B or an A. Right? And so it would show you where you can reduce that. So it's really easy to use. More so than MyFitnessPal, I find. MyFitnessPal is hard to navigate sometimes. And you also have the opportunity to enter in your own meal plans for everybody else to see. So you can share that stuff, which is really fantastic. I really enjoyed that. And you get to see what other people are eating. Because if you're anything like me, there are certain foods that I don't particularly enjoy. I'm not a picky eater, but like there's certain foods that I don't really enjoy. Liver and onions, for instance. I can't even stand the smell of it. I think it's the most disgusting thing I've ever come across. I mean, if I had to eat it, I probably would eat it, but I have memories of that stuff that haunt me, and so it's just not something that I would probably do. But otherwise, I'm pretty good at eating everything, which is good and bad, right? It's just got me into this situation partly, got me into the situation in the first place. So, anyway, I'm just heading to pick up my kids, after work here. And, and I should also mention that I'm probably not going to do one of these every day. I'm thinking at this point, maybe 3-4 a week to start. And as I get more knowledgeable, then I'll start incorporating the knowledge-based videos about nutrition and exercise, along with my progression videos. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.